Um, I've been wanting to make a video about a lot of different things. I really want to make a lot of videos. As far as it goes on my private Twitter account, I feel like I have a lot of explaining to do. Because there was this whole thing with PGG, there was this whole thing with me in the hospital, there was this whole thing with, I've made a lot of concerning statements over the years, and it's understandable that people have that concern for me. At first, I kind of took it as people being offended, or people being sort of judgmental about me and my illnesses and my mistakes. And I have made a lot of mistakes. Like, there's a lot that I regret over the years, particularly in the Smash community. I have a lot of regrets, and I don't want this video to be like your average YouTuber apology video. I want it to kind of just be a brief video that gets understanding between us. I don't want it to be like, oh, I hate myself, this is why, this is what I've been struggling with. Well, I want to tell you guys what I have been struggling with, because I feel like it'll shed some light on my behaviors. But at the same time, I don't want it to be, I don't want to break down crying in front of you, because that'll probably come off pretty disingenuous, or not genuine, however you're supposed to say that. But I just, in general, I feel like I'm pretty misunderstood, and a lot of that's my fault. I haven't been the best communicator when it comes to public relations. I have a lot of ex-friends in the Smash community. A lot of people who used to be really close to me kind of distance themselves from me because they don't understand how to interact with me anymore, and they don't understand what my interests are. There have been a few people who have stayed regardless and have been super duper understanding, and that's not most people, which I understand. Like, it's not easy to talk to someone with bipolar disorder. It's not easy to talk to someone who has been diagnosed with a whole bunch of different things and takes different medications, and might be one way one day and then another way another day. So I understand. Like, I have made it very difficult to approach me, and I have made it very difficult to interact with me at all. Like, I've been so a few things. One, my relationship with the Smash community in New Mexico, my relationship with the Smash community in Utah, and three, my relationship with the Smash community online. It's a weird dichotomy, or a weird. I'm not trying to overcomplicate this. Let me simplify what I'm trying to say. It's very weird to compare my relationships across different Smash communities, because I feel like in New Mexico, people have this wildly different perception of me than Utah or online. And a big reason for that is my communication issues and my social issues. Like, I have a lot of issues communicating with people. I didn't used to. Like, that's a very new thing for me. I used to be a pretty big social butterfly. So I feel like after my initial introductions to the New Mexico Smash community, people kind of took everything I said to be genuine, and everything I said to be like, they sort of, and this is no fault to them, like, this is all my fault. Like, my biggest mistake with the New Mexico Smash community has been miscommunication. And while I have said a lot of hurtful things to people in New Mexico, and I'm sorry for that, while I'm truly sorry for that, it's not something that I want to dwell on, because, and these people will remain nameless, but there are some people who have messaged me very aggressively telling me certain things about how I don't belong in the New Mexico Smash community. I don't belong anywhere. I'm a terrible person. I should seriously, they didn't say that I should reconsider what I'm thinking. They sort of, the way, okay, I'm gonna be honest, like, the way that they communicated to me was not the best either. I have made a lot of communication mistakes, as I've said before, and what I believe to be the case is that people in general in the New Mexico community are just concerned for me, and they don't hate me, with the exception of a couple people. I had to take a lot of time to break down the misunderstanding on my end that everyone in New Mexico hated me, or everyone in all of the Smash community hated me, because I have a sort of a difficult time understanding social cues online. Even though I grew up with social media, I have a hard time gauging what people actually think about me unless they blatantly tell it to my face. And so the only times people are like blatant to my face is when they're so fed up with my bullshit that they message me and say, "This is every single reason why I do not like you." And when they don't like outline things for me to make it easier for me to understand how to do better, it makes it very easy for me to get down on myself, and it makes it very easy for me. So I'm not saying it's their fault. Like, this is something, like, how do I say this? I understand that it's my responsibility to control how I am in a social setting, even if it's online. I understand that it's my responsibility to manage people's feelings about me, and like to manage how I interact with people. Like, it's not someone else's responsibility to say, you should do this instead, or like, stop doing this thing, or whatever it is. Like, I appreciate the feedback, but it's not their responsibility to give me that feedback, and it's not their responsibility to do that work for me. It's something I really struggle with, and it's something I've noticed is a big character flaw of mine, is that I don't interact with people. I don't interact with people in the best. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. What I'm trying to say is, like, it's my fault, and I realize that. I understand that it takes a long time to come back to a community that you used to be super harsh to. I was recently unbanned from tournaments. I was never banned from tournaments initially, but when I tried to come back to tournaments after being banned from the Discord, like almost a year after being banned from the Discord, it was... What happened was, I reached out to the tournament organizers because I wanted to make sure I didn't cause any drama. I wanted to communicate things, which is something I've been working on, and I wanted to say, hey, the last thing that I want to happen is for someone to, like me or someone else, I don't want emotions to get high, and the reason I don't want that is because when those emotions are raised really highly, it makes it easy for me to say things that I will regret later on, and it makes it easier, and I assume the same is true for other people. Like, I assume people mean what they say when they tell me they don't like me, but at the same time, I don't think that that's the best version of themselves that they want to present to me, if that makes sense. I have been trying to learn how to manage public relations and how to manage friendships and how to manage like acquaintanceships. Like, I just really want to understand what it means to communicate with people in a healthy way, because at the core of my issues, like, it's basically, there's a lot of internalized things that I have that I've been working on. There's a lot of issues that I have with my mental health and with my physical health even, and some issues I have about myself and my self-image. But aside from all of that, like, the biggest thing that has been holding me back from maintaining friendships is my communication issues. And the whole reason I'm making this video is to sort of shed some light, like I said, on my perspective, because I feel like every single time that I've been communicating what my perspective is, I was in a really high emotional state or a really low emotional state, and I've been fluctuating a lot as per my bipolar disorder. Like, it's not easy for me to come out and say, this is what I'm struggling with, and this is how I feel. It's not easy for me to say that. So a lot of times when I'm sad, I'll mask it with comedy, and when I'm manic, I'll mask it with like an abrasive attitude. Like, I just don't understand how to be honest sometimes, and that has led to a lot of miscommunication on my end, and a lot of concern and partial frustration on other people's ends, because it's not easy to talk to someone who's bipolar. It's not easy to do that, and most people don't understand how to help me when I don't know how to ask for help, and that's completely understandable. My whole thing, like, I want to stop talking about me for a second. I want to say, like, the amount of grace and second chances that I've been given is phenomenal. And I say that because, like, what I see in a lot of the Smash communities is that, like, from an outside perspective, it can seem like people are being really harsh to you, when in reality, they're kind of just managing their relationship with you. Like, if you, in my case, because I don't want to talk about someone else's case, but I can think of a few examples. Like, in my case, some of my friends think it's absolutely unacceptable that I was banned from tournaments for like 2 weeks. But I don't. I feel like that was warranted. And I feel like I'm in a place now where I can actually talk to people, and I feel like I'm in a place now where I don't have to be afraid anymore, and I don't have to worry about what I'm gonna say. Like, I can actually control my input on social interactions now, and that was something I wasn't able to do before. Like, back in December of 2023, I was flying off the rails in every direction, and it's not something that I'm proud of, but realizing that that's what I was experiencing has been very healing for me. I want to wrap this video up really quickly, so I'm just gonna have a few lasting thoughts. I'm always down to talk about this. Like, if there's something that piques your interest or something you have more questions about, like, feel free to DM me, or even mention me on Twitter, like, so people can see the conversation we're having. If you want to keep it private, that's cool. I'm down to call people, like, just explain what I've been going through and what I want to do in the future. But mainly this. I regret a lot. And I want to do better in the future. It's taken me a long time to heal because I feel like, and this is warranted, like I feel like I haven't had a lot of support lately over the last year, just from my family and just from a couple close friends. I have had support, and that means the world to me, and it's helped me so much. But like, I don't understand how to interact with I don't understand how to interact with I didn't understand. I didn't used to understand how to interact with people and how to maintain relationships because it wasn't really something I practiced, and I never really had therapy growing up. So there were a lot of issues that I have. I still have a lot of issues, and I'm still healing, and I'm still growing as a person. Like, I'm still changing, and part of me now thinks that's beautiful, but if you asked me how I felt about that in December, I would have told you, like, I'm the worst person ever. And just, I'm thankful for the medications that I have now that give me so much stability in my critical thinking and just in general. Like, I have this whole medication journey. Like, I've been trying loads and loads of different medications over the last 2 years. And over my whole life, actually. Like, when I was 13, I started trying antidepressants, and it's been like 6 years since that happened. So, like, I've had a medication journey for over 6 years, and it's been a lot. There's a lot to unpack. Like, if you want to talk to me about it, that's fine. But I want to keep this video more brief than... I don't want this video to be any longer than it has to be. And I want to tell people that it's okay to not understand how to talk to me. But all that I ask is that you do reach out to me and you ask questions, rather than talking about me behind my back or avoiding talking to me. Like, it feels very dehumanizing when it's not possible for people to communicate with you anymore. And I recognize that that's my fault, and that's something I brought on myself by being a terrible person. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I genuinely have been a terrible person to several people. And coping with that and learning how to do better has taken me a long time. So yeah, I feel like I hit on most of the points that I wanted to talk about, but I still have a lot to say. I'm probably going to make some clarifying tweets after, just because I feel like it needs to be, some things need to be said. If you want to share this video with people just to explain how I've been doing, feel free to send them the link. I'm going to keep it unlisted just because I don't want it to show up on my main page. But yeah, this is an announcement to the public, to friends that I have been harshly mistreating, and ex-friends, unfortunately. Like, yeah, this message goes out to anyone, so feel free to share if you want. Just probably don't post the link on your Twitter or whatever, but you can DM it to people, that's fine. Anyways, this is Alex Sentry Slayer Whitaker. I'm out.